Welcome to the NBA's greatest games. Today, we'll take you back into NBA history and relive one of the great matchups as it happened.
The winner of Game 5. There you see the numbers. That's why they call it pivotal. And the Bucks have already won here. Game 2, of course, the victory.
Well, for the Milwaukee Bucks, they can't talk it anymore. They have to do it. And, you know, that's been a lot of their concern in ball games where they say they need to get more shot attempts. They need to be more intense. They have struggled. Ray Allen.
Allen misfires on the first. Scott Williams, the offensive rebound. Allen right back and knocks it down. Ray Allen, who had 7 3-pointers in that Game 2 performance, hitting his second shot and his first field goal.
Control of the defensive backboards critical for Mutombo and Philadelphia. The pace is essential. Possessions first to the loose balls and get to the hoop on the offensive end.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Irvin Johnson went up, but it looked like he went straight up, and there was contact but no foul.
There will be very few whistles in the opening moments of this game. Even fewer at the start of the third quarter.
Because there are no fouls?
No, referees are going to let these guys play. It's the playoffs, Steve.
Well, you certainly saw that in Game 4. Allen creating for Irvin Johnson. And Johnson able to put it in. He's not been hesitant when he's been open to take that baseline jumper.
This is the same start they had in Milwaukee. And that seems to be the character and the nature of the series. That Milwaukee gets involved first, then Philly responds. They get a foul against Irvin Johnson.
So there's the first foul. Johnson picking up number 1, and the Sixers will inbound. Philadelphia here at home during the playoffs, 5-3. They've lost a home game in each round against Indiana, against Toronto, and obviously against Milwaukee.
Much better defense by Milwaukee, forcing Iverson back to the middle of the court.
Ball knocked loose. Tyrone Hill able to get a hand on it and keep it alive.
In this series, Iverson has not gotten off to the quick start that he did against Toronto when he had explosive games. He's been struggling, and they're trying to find a way to get him going. Tough shot, Jones.
And Jones was out of bounds when he touched it, so the Bucks will get it back. George Karl says his team likes to play on the road. They were a good road team during the regular season, 21-20, and in the playoffs they have 3 road wins. Allen knocks down his second shot.
We're seeing a completely different Ray Allen. We're seeing the Ray Allen that Steve Jones was talking about at the Open.
Well, we're talking about an asteroid busting loose here and straightening up the order of the universe.
Iverson on the pull-up. He comes up short. Tyrone Hill with an offensive rebound.
Neither team able to control their defensive backboard.
Mutombo, nice quick spin move. Scott Williams on the block, but also a foul.
And they're going to count it because the defender, Scott Williams, who hurt his hand on the rim, his arm was up through the rim on the block. And that's a very painful injury. And just hope that it's not too serious and there's no blood on this play, but the hand up through the rim, an easy play to call.
Excellent call from Ronnie Nunn. No question about it. So 2 points and the foul.
Well, if they allowed that kind of defense, an interesting final score.
That's not one of the new rule changes for next year. So Mutombo to the line. Mutombo has just been superb in this series. He had the 4 block shots in Game 4, but how many times did he alter the shot or have a guy just say, you know what, I'm getting out of here?
When you have that kind of psychological impact, and that was Bill Russell, that was Wilt Chamberlain, that's what Shaquille O'Neal is doing right now, and an offensive foul on the screen by Scott Williams.
So Williams picks up his second in about 10 seconds.
And it's the same thing that happened to Scott Williams in Game 4 in Milwaukee. George Karl quickly coming to Tim Thomas, and Thomas a more explosive player. So Milwaukee's got their best offensive unit out on the floor now.
When Thomas came into the game, Tyrone Hill was in the way on the sidelines, and they pushed and shoved each other. Ironically, those two were traded for each other. Crowd wanted a foul on Thomas before he even reported into the game.
George Karl needs more out of Scott Williams. He was terrific in Game 3. A non-factor in Game 4.
Robinson goes to double. Jermaine Jones, that's a 3-pointer. Gets his own rebound. Robinson release, trying to break Mutombo inside, and a foul before the shot. So the Sixers will take it out of bounds. Ray Allen picks up his first. Robinson did a good job first doubling and then rotating again, getting a hand up on Jermaine Jones. You see Ray Allen on Iverson. Iverson misfires. He's 0 for 3 to start. Ray Allen running the floor. Beautiful pass. And transition baskets, have not seen a lot of them in this series.
Guards shooting from the baseline. If those jumpers don't fall, you're going to get a terrific opportunity to run out at the other end.
Sixers have missed 5 of their first 6 from the field. Iverson, nice feed inside Mutombo. And look at Tim Thomas with a steal. Good help defense there.
Now, Thomas wants to have a big impact on this game. Hometown guy, really yet to shake loose in the series. Here comes Iverson on the fly.
A burst of speed, can't finish, but Jermaine Jones with the tip.
Iverson ran by 7 guys, and he got the ball in the paint of the defensive end and was the first guy at the other end with the ball.
7, how many guys are in Milwaukee?
It didn't matter. They were just running all back.
I think he meant 2 referees. Robinson knocks down the shot. And the Bucks back up by 6. Milwaukee shooting very well to start this game.
And no hesitation whatsoever for Milwaukee. We saw a casual approach in game 4 that cost them dearly.
Bucks are 5 of 7 from the field. Mutombo goes right at Thomas and an offensive foul. Mutombo pushing off with the left arm. And he picks up his first personal.
I thought you said they weren't calling any fouls.
Well, they have to call this. Why would there be a rule book if they didn't call that?
I'm come like in and where was the push
you
off?
Wipe the guy out and destroy a man who you've already got 7 inches of height on. This is still a game of skill, Steve.
Robinson, quick release. Won't go. Mutombo the rebound. George Karl told us this morning that they've shown too much respect to Mutombo.
He's earned that respect in my mind.
Iverson.
Now, it's been a typical start for Iverson in this series where he has struggled off the bat, and that's turned the Bucks loose, and we'll see whether their fast break offense is going to be the difference here in getting the lead and holding the lead.
The key with the foul, got a piece of the arm, and Glenn Robinson is going to the free throw line for the first time this series.
Say it again. Say it again.
Unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
Glenn Robinson is going to the free throw line for the first time in this series.
It generally helps if you go to the hoop. You're going to stand on the perimeter and shoot jumpers. You're going to shoot fadeaways out of a mid-post-up opportunity. You're not going to get to the line.
The crowd aware of the free throw situation with a little extra cheering on the miss.
And with Glenn Robinson complaining vociferously about not getting to the line, you would think that he would at least make the first one.
Robinson, during the regular season, averaged about 4 free throw attempts a game, so he doesn't get there a lot. And he shot a lot of free throws in the Charlotte series.
What he's got to do, though, is develop a move like Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell, a jump shooter, but he always is able to draw fouls. Jermaine Jones.
Jones wide open. Won't go down. Fight for the rebound. Irvin Johnson tips it to Cassell. Sixers just 2 of 10 now from the field.
Milwaukee doing a wonderful job of getting the long rebounds at the foul line.
Iverson knocks it out of bounds. Still Bucks ball with 13 on the shot clock.
2 things Larry Brown told us before the ball game. We got to be as intense and aggressive defensively. A terrific reacting block by Allen Iverson, and we have to shoot better than 36%. They're tracking 20% now.
Jermaine Jones does not look sharp offensively, and Aaron McKee hasn't even had a look yet.
Robinson trying to draw a foul. Good defense from Jermaine Jones. 2 on the shot clock. Allen, three-pointer comes up short, but he had to put it up.
Larry Brown says they've got to control the possession. They've got to get some easy scores, but they haven't been able to do it. Iverson with another miss.
Irvin Johnson is quicker to the ball than he was the previous game.
Bucks really looking to run early on. Cassell off the fake, knocks it down. And Milwaukee with a 9-point lead here in the first quarter.
And Larry Brown has seen enough. He's going to talk this one over. Try to slow down this onslaught, this sizzling offensive display by Milwaukee.
You know, you're the best fantasy league player we have. We started the ball game with Philadelphia and control of the universe, and now we got asteroids all over the place, and now you're all over Milwaukee.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
76ers and Allen Iverson off to a slow start. They trail by 9.
Well, Allen Iverson wanted to get off to one of those hot, quick starts, and that hasn't been the case. And he's a very emotional player, and he feels that he's got to get started and bring his team into the game, but it's been nothing going for him, and he thinks that the officials are missing the call.
Let us take care of the game, and everything will be fine. Put your focus on the game, okay?
Yes, right? Yes,
okay.
There's a psychological aspect when a star player, the MVP Allen Iverson, comes back. Everybody now is relaxed. They know he's going to play. There was big question marks what he would do in Game 4. Well, he delivered. Now everybody else is saying, well, he'll do it again. Well, the rest of the guys are not helping him out right now.
Blocked by Glenn Robinson. Jalen Jones tracks it down. Robinson, another good defensive play. Shot clock down to 3. McKee sees that, puts it up, and puts it in. Nice timely hoop from Aaron McKee. Iverson, by the way, in the entire series coming into this 5th game, only shooting 30% from the field. The Bucks have done a superb job defensively on him. And Glenn Robinson knocks down the 3. It's a 10-point lead.
George Karl saying that one of the things they learned, the lesson from Game 4, get Sam Cassell in the post. When Iverson is down there guarding, they're going to have to come with help, and that'll free up weak side spot-up shooters.
Patience. That's what Larry Brown wants from the 76ers at the offensive end. Limit the possessions and then make good on your opportunity. Mutombo leading the way with 5 first-quarter points.
Mutombo's first time this deep in the playoffs. Had never even played in the conference finals before this series.
Cassell tied up. Iverson knocks it out of bounds. Still Milwaukee ball. Cassell thought there was a foul call with 12 on the shot clock.
It was standing right in front of the referee. Sam Cassell is outstanding, as is Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs. When he sees a defender trying to reach and use his arms defensively, they just put their ball and their arms right into that defender.
And nice hand for Eric Snow. The fans certainly know what he's been going through with his ankle. As you heard Andrea Joyce report earlier.
It's unbelievable that he can play. He's got a broken foot.
Cassell right at Snow, knocks down the shot. The lead back to 10 again.
One thing that Milwaukee did not do in Game 4 was attack injured players. When Iverson was stumbling around in the 4th quarter, when Snow was limping, they just ignored those guys on the defensive end.
Bucks, meanwhile, 8 of 13 from the field.
Well, we know that it's a jump shooting team, and they can miss shots. And once they begin to miss shots, that's going to be the 76ers' chance to get back in the ball game. So they got to be patient. Cassell.
No patience on Cassell that time, as the Bucks like the tempo here in the first quarter.
They've been outshot from the floor in terms of attempts and from the free throw line, and that's never a good sign.
What's up the 76ers been the offensive rebounds despite the poor shooting.
Now here's a guy that they got off to a really good start in Game 4, and Hill's getting his first attempt now.
And knocks it down. Tyrone Hill, who did not go see his father in Cincinnati. We're grateful to say that his father's condition has stabilized. His mom told him, stay in Philadelphia and concentrate on what you have to do. Thomas puts it up. And Tim Thomas has been a spark off the bench, knocking down the 3.
As Milwaukee goes smaller, they have to become a more efficient, productive offensive team. They don't have the luxury of the big man, Scott Williams, providing offensive rebound contributions.
Iverson misses again. Still scoreless on 7 attempts.
All those misses have been from the wing.
Robinson, that was a 2. Irvin Johnson goes in for the rebound. Nice head fake, and Johnson able to dump it in.
It's a completely different Milwaukee team.
They're making shots, Bill. As long as Milwaukee's making shots, they're going to look like they are terrific, and that's what they're doing. This is similar to Game 2, where they came out, Ray Allen leading the way. They busted everything when they had to, and the 76ers had the same kind of ragged start. McKee, a miss.
But Tumbo, the offensive rebound.
It's more than just making shots. They're getting to the rebounds. They're playing the defense.
McKee misses. The tempo really has been the key here in the early going. It's the pace that George Karl wants. Like Cassell. High off the glass. Pretty play from Sam Cassell, and the lead is ballooned to 13.
It's stolen again by Cassell. Fans here in the First Union Center stunned.
McKee comes right back with the steal. Goes right at Irvin Johnson, but does not get the roll. Cassell, a bundle of energy.
Stroke a 3.
That's a 3 from Thomas. And Robinson's going to try and save it, but it goes out of bounds.
Threes in transition. What more could you ask for?
That's exactly what the Milwaukee Bucks would like to see more of. Irvin Johnson doing a good job inside, but it's the shooting.
When you get on the offensive glass, the long rebounds are going to be there when you take those long three-point shots. Irvin Johnson quicker to the ball than he was in Game 4.
What Sam Cassell is trying to do in this game, and he wasn't able to do in Game 4, is get to the rim. So he finishes early. Milwaukee on a roll.
Right behind the cheering Sixer fans, a couple of Georgetown centers out of uniform, including Alonzo Mourning. And we will hear from Alonzo Mourning, who's sitting next to Patrick Ewing at the net zero at the half. As Peter Vesey will interview Mourning, of course, coming back from the kidney ailment this year with the Miami Heat. Meanwhile, for the Milwaukee Bucks, Scott Williams went out early, picked up 2 quick fouls, and hurt his hand on this play. And let's get a report from Lewis Johnson.
All right, Mike, thanks. Well, Scott Williams still on the bench now with his hand packed in ice. During the last time out, one of the team physicians came over and examined him. They really looked at the back of his hand. He had pain as they touched him. We're told that he has a contusion on the back of his hand. They repacked the ice and said he is still available for the game if they need him. Mike?
All right, Lewis, thank you. Meanwhile, Tim Thomas has come in quickly, and he has been a real spark.
Well, they've got the big four going, and right now what the 76ers have to do is be patient, find ways to get Iverson going in the ball game. He gets his first scoop out of the timeout.
So Allen Iverson, after missing his first 7 shots, gets on the board, and the lead cut to 11.
Floating over the court. Now they've got to capitalize on that. Come right back to him.
Thomas misses, Mutombo hauls in another rebound.
In Game 4, out of virtually every timeout, kickball here by Milwaukee's defense. But out of every timeout in Game 4, momentum was built by Philadelphia.
Larry Brown knows that if Allen Iverson can get a seam, see a crack, he's going to be able to get to the rim, and he wants him to try to focus on that because he'll also get to the free throw line, and that's where his numbers will pick up, and that will probably relax him. He's not a great jump shooter anyway, and when he's missing shots, as Cassell and Glenn Robinson go out of the ball game, it's because he pulls off, he fades away, and he pulls off the shot, which makes it short.
Jason Cappy and Lindsey Hunter in. George Karl said we need a lift from the bench. Thomas has given him so far. The other 2 would be a big bonus for the Bucks. McCullough, who's just checked in. Boy, McCullough, every time he comes in, he seems right away he does something positive for the Sixers.
An outstanding 7-footer who learns a lot every day playing against Mutombo. Been helped immeasurably, Todd McCullough has, by his college coach Bender out at the University of Washington.
You know what he's learned the most? Don't bring it inside against Mutombo. Steal Iverson.
Bad pass from Cappy. Here goes Iverson. And the Sixers within 9. Turnovers have been key for both teams. In fact, I don't know how much this means, but through the first 4 games, the team with the most turnovers have lost.
Well, it didn't seem like it was significant in Game 4, but it was the time in which Tim Thomas and the Bucks made those turnovers, as Milwaukee now missing shots.
Final minute of the first quarter. It's been a slow start from the Sixers, but showing lots of life right now. Iverson falling away, and Irvin Johnson hauls in another.
Irvin Johnson has done a vastly superior job this game. Lindsey Hunter with that quick trigger, finally.
Hunter, who has struggled throughout the entire postseason. It's been a real struggle at 23% from the field, knocks down his first.
George Karl said his plan today was, look, we want to play with a 12-second shot clock. None of this half-court stuff, none of this dribbling, playing backwards. Just get it up and down, and a tripping foul by Lindsey Hunter well away from the ball.
Hunter, who's a very good defender, trying to deny Allen Iverson. There you see Lindsey Hunter, just terrible numbers shooting from the field. He's a very good shooter, but as George Karl said today, sometimes even top shooters in the NBA lose confidence, and Hunter's lost his confidence.
Well, he needs to find a rhythm. He needs to get a lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, the playoffs is not a place to find your game. It's a place to show off your game.
8 on the shot clock for Iverson, who is really upset about the non-calls against Hunter, who's holding.
Well, not your classic dunk by McCullough, but the end result is 2 points. Final second. No go from Ray Allen, and that will end the first quarter.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Allen Iverson, of course, has played this series with the bruised tailbone. It's affected his shooting. He started game 1, missing his first 9, missed his first 7 tonight. Now it's 2 for 10, missed 10 in a row in game 4 on Monday. Certainly the tailbone has something to do with it, but also you really have to credit Milwaukee's defense. They've done a very good job on him, making him take tough shots.
The problem for Philadelphia has been that missed shots are a huge part of their offensive game from Allen Iverson, because he just gets up there on the glass and then everybody gets to go and spike it down. Mutombo, he does have 5 points and 4 rebounds. Aaron McKee has just 1 bucket on 4 attempts. Those are 2 key offensive performers who have not been sharp in the first quarter.
Tim Thomas with a block, and Thomas has come out with a vengeance here in the opening half. Alley-oop, and Thomas didn't quite handle it, but still put it in. And everything going the Bucks' way in terms of the bounces. A 10-point lead again.
When you're playing against an injured team like Milwaukee is, with all the injuries for Philadelphia, just keep running, get going, wear them down.
Eric Snow gets past Allen. Oh, Snow with a pretty play.
You keep talking about the injuries, but this team has been playing with injuries for more than half the season in all of the playoffs. I mean, the injuries are part of what they do that makes them an exceptional team. They just keep fighting, and what Milwaukee's got to keep doing, they got to keep making shots.
McKee extends out on Ray Allen. Allen lost the handle. Shot clock at 5. Hunter on the pull-up. That's not Hunter's strength. And Mutombo brings it in.
On the run here, does Eric Snow have enough playing on that broken foot to be able to get into the open court on his own?
Single coverage, Caffey. Johnson fakes a double team. Mutombo's going to try it again. Stripped by Lindsey Hunter.
Mutombo has to make a decision a little bit quicker, because they're going to collapse on him as soon as he puts it on the floor. Another miss, Lindsey Hunter.
And the Bucks firing up threes they've already taken. 11 threes here in the first half. They've made 4 of them.
Now, when he catches it right there, this is the time to make a decision to try to get in, because he's facing single coverage with the left.
Caffey down the other end draws the foul on McCullough, but we have not seen Mutombo use the left hand very often. So the foul goes against McCullough.
In transition, the defense ignited by Tim Thomas, who gets out on the run and then just keeps going over the top. He never really has control of this ball, but the flow, which is the strength of Milwaukee's game, is there tonight.
Tim Thomas enjoying a life back in this area. He was born in New Jersey, went to college 1 year at Villanova in Pennsylvania, and of course spent his first year and a half as a member of the 76ers before being traded for Tyrone Hill.
It was not a happy year and a half either. He came in thinking he was going to light the NBA up. Larry Brown said, "You've got a lot to learn, young man," and Tim Thomas was not willing to hear that. And when he got over to Milwaukee with George Karl had to spend a lot of time rebuilding the shattered confidence of a young Tim Thomas.
And Carlson enjoyed it. He said he's as close to Thomas as any player. Ball knocked loose out of bounds, and it'll go the other way.
Tight pass from Iverson right there, and you know, he's complaining that he's getting hell, but he's got to play through. Right now, Allen Iverson's got to focus more on the Milwaukee Bucks, Lindsey Hunter, and less on not getting the call from the official.
Sixers have 6 turnovers. 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Crowd wanted a travel and a legal defense whistle. That shot wouldn't have counted anyway. That's the first of just a warning.
Milwaukee bailed out there. They were scrambling. They were guilty of a couple of traveling violations that were ignored by the referees. The defense was dug in for Philadelphia.
Allen Iverson spending a lot of time talking to the officials. He's not been happy with a number of calls. And Caffey throws it away. Backcourt violation. Caffey upset with Lindsey Hunter. He felt Hunter should have made a better move on it. And Hunter agrees, said, "My fault."
Always the passer's fault. The guy doesn't catch it, it's your fault.
Always?
Always.
Steve, help me.
What? What? You know,
if he doesn't catch it the next time, don't throw it.
Wait, you know, if he says it's an absolute, you know, there's some uncertainty there for sure. decisions are what really key. Whether a guy's going to be able to be in a position to catch shots to catch the ball for you.
Cassell badly misses on that three-pointer, and there's a foul on Lindsey Hunter. And Hunter picks up his second personal, first team foul on the Bucks.
Now, Bill, you talked about George Karl and the flow. What is the Milwaukee Bucks flow?
He was talking about it. He's not being a matchup coach. He's not one of those guys that comes in with these intricate strategies and plays and matchups. Just get out there and get going up and down and shoot threes in transition.
Irvin Johnson with the rejection. Bucks continue to block shots. They had 12 in game 4.
But that's the flow that George Karl grew up living. As a Knick fan in the late 60s, early 70s, watching Walt Frazier, Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere. That's how he learned how to play basketball. So many of us did.
Iverson misfires. Karl, by the way, was a draft pick of the Knicks, but knew he didn't have a chance with all those fine guards that were on the team back in '73. Caffey, couple of fakes. Mutombo with the rejection.
Two guys blocked that shot.
But Caffey does a good job staying with it and setting up Irvin Johnson.
Well, Irvin Johnson is just staying within himself and doing what he can do. Knocks down his third shot. Hasn't missed one, but staying in the slot, offensive rebounding, and taking the open opportunity. 10-point lead.
Mutombo. Caffey trying to shove him out. Eric Snow steps up. Won't go. Caffey the rebound.
Now that's the Charles Barkley in Jason Caffey's game, and he can do so much more. And you just think about moving as opposed to trying to bully people all the time.
Cassell trying to take advantage and a loose ball foul called down low against the Milwaukee Bucks. George Karl is red hot, and Ronnie Nunn, who doesn't want to hear it.
A guy gets a rebound, and that's the Charles Barkley.
He's got a lot of Charles Barkley potential in his game.
Long way to go for that potential, I think. 10-point lead for the Bucks here in the second. Ten-point lead for Milwaukee. We already showed you a couple of Georgetown centers that are in attendance here at the First Union Center. There's a Georgetown guard. He's gotten a little older, I would say. That's the page on the Philadelphia Daily News. And his Georgetown coach is right now with Andrea Joyce.
It's a regular Georgetown reunion, isn't it, Mike? John Thompson, what is this like for you to be out here watching two of your former players, Dikembe Mutombo and Allen Iverson, playing so late in the season and having such an impact in this series?
Well, you feel extremely proud because you know how much work they put into the game, but I'm nervous as hell right now, to tell you the truth.
Now, just before the game, during the warm-ups, Allen spotted you in the crowd. His face lit up. He ran over, embraced you. What'd you guys talk about?
I cursed him out. I asked him whether he thought he was Superman and not taking all those injuries, but he's always been that way.
He's always been that way. Do you remember times when he exhibited that kind of behavior at Georgetown?
Well, when we played in the tournament, he got hurt, and I jumped all over him about coming out of the game. He didn't want to come out of the game because he said, I'm okay. And Allen has always been that competitive, that his competitiveness has overridden, a lot of his pain.
A lot of sensibility, maybe.
A lot of craziness, I think, but I'm proud of him, though.
Okay, thanks so much. Enjoy the game. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Andrew, of course, a fine little quarterback he was in high school. Certainly helped him deal with all the physical play.
The importance of your college coach. Well, John Thompson, a Hall of Famer.
The crowd has been telling Allen Iverson to drive, and he's decided that he's going to try to get his teammates involved. They miss on that opportunity, but the Sixers got 7 minutes to try to get control of the tempo. Cassell is going to try to make sure they don't.
Now, you've seen some good shooting from the Bucks. Are they getting better shots or just shots going in?
Well, no, these guys are shot makers, and they'll get in stretches where everything goes in, and then they'll have the same shot, and they won't go in. So, if you're Milwaukee, you know what the strength of your game is. You got to play to it, and if you're the 76ers, you have to be patient and fight through a hot shooting stretch.
3-second violation on Mutombo.
I think they're better shots today. I think they're quicker. I think they're moving sharper.
What do you know about better shots? When they go in, you say, what a way to shoot the ball. Shoot a three.
They've certainly got a lot in transition better shots. They've got 15 fast break points already. Cassell backing it in beautifully. Sam Cassell off to a terrific start. He's got 10 points.
Now, these guys are making shots, and you know, they're challenging the defense of the 76ers, which has not been able to be the aggressor. They have been reacting to the offense of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Cassell called for the foul. This is the largest lead of the game thus far for the Bucks, a 14-point advantage as Cassell picks up his first.
Philadelphia trying to get Aaron McKie going on the offensive end. He has been such a prolific performer for them. They're posting him up here for the second consecutive time against Sam Cassell.
Now, Sam Cassell does a good job of keeping away from the ball. They're going to call a foul against Cassell.
That's a tough call there.
Cassell red hot as he picks up his second, and for Milwaukee it's their 4th team foul.
Philadelphia should come right back. You got 2 possessions. Glenn Robinson saying, I'll take Aaron McKie this time. Nice leadership by Robinson.
And Jermaine Jones is being guarded by Cassell. They double him. 5 on the shot clock. Iverson with a 3. Comes up way short. Robinson gets a running start. Cassell slipping. Looking like he wanted to call a timeout, and he got it just in time. So a full timeout will be taken by George Karl. Bucks by 14, led by Sam Cassell, the only player in double figures with 10 points. Cassell with a terrific impact in this game in the early going. 5 of 10 from the field. You see the difference when he's been on the floor. This is Cassell's 8th year in the NBA. He's had some really good years. 1 year averaged nearly 20 a game, another year 19 a game. And he's never been on an all-star team despite some good numbers. He says as much as he wishes he could be on an all-star team, he's had a couple of instances with peers that have made a difference. Last year he said after a game against the Raptors, Charles Oakley went out after him before he got the locker room and said, you know what, I love the way you play the game. And Cassell said that meant more to him than anything else, than any all-star, to have your peer come and tell you that he appreciates the way you play your game.
Well, all the attention goes to Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson. The argument is easily made that Sam Cassell is the most important player on the team.
Well, Bill, I want to ask you one question. What happened to the order of the universe?
This is the Big Bang Theory in living color.
Well, the universe in turmoil right now for the Sixers. They're down by 16. Shot blocked from behind, but a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Glenn Robinson. Bucks right now on a 12-2 run as Robinson picks up his first.
In many ways, this is a replay of Game 2 in which they have struggled to really get control of the Milwaukee Bucks at the offensive end. Look at the ball move, the player move, the space between the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers in getting the shots away.
And the way Milwaukee is playing is what has led so many fans around the country to fall in love with this Buck team. With that quick hitting attack, when you're playing that well with that kind of skill, there's nothing that the defense can do about it. Just be back on their heels. And Philadelphia is getting torched at the moment.
Well, Allen Iverson in Game 4 was 4 of 18, didn't get to the free throw line. He's not shooting the ball well, been to the free throw line. What they want him to do right now is relax and let the game come to him. He's going to have a stretch where he's going to explode. Steal, Allen Iverson.
Iverson led the NBA in steals during the regular season. Had a big game earlier in the playoffs, a 7-steal game. Mutombo inside, patient, and draws the foul. And Dikembe Mutombo will shoot 2.
As Philadelphia tries to turn this around, a look back at their goals today. The pace has not been Philadelphia's way. Possessions have all gone, and loose balls have all gone to Milwaukee. Scott Williams ill-advisedly handling the ball in the open court with his left hand. His right hand is heavily bandaged after being bruised.
He picked up his 3rd foul down the other end. Mutombo hits the free throws, more substitutions. Mutombo said one of the keys for him in Game 4, he normally lifts weights even on game days. He said he needed a rest and did not want to lift on that day, and he felt it made him a little bit more lively.
I've been extremely impressed with Mutombo throughout this series. The more you watch him, the more there is to like. His stamina, his durability. He's not an explosive type player, but he just never seems to get tired.
Did you guys lift on game days?
Absolutely, every day.
I mean, weightlifting was invented back when you guys played? Sorry. The cheap shot.
Do you know a setup?
Allen way off the mark, and the crowd delighting in that miss.
But Philadelphia's goal right now is to get this game down into single digits and really try to get control of the game. They are not in control of this game right now, and that's what Larry Brown wants his team to do in the next 450. Just get the game under control, and they think they'll be all right in the second half. Mutombo with 7 on the clock.
Forces the pass inside, and there's a turnover. That's the 8th for Philadelphia. Sixers had some slow starts at home early in the playoffs.
Well, the one thing you know about Philadelphia, they're going to fight you all the way. They may be slow out of the gate, but at some point, they're going to make a run at you. So they've got to be close enough in order for that run to put them over the top. Rebound Mutombo.
Mutombo with his 6th board. Again, a dangerous pass down the other way, and the Sixers turn the ball over. McKee takes it right back, but can't get it to go, and Glenn Robinson the rebound.
How they didn't call a foul when Irvin Johnson lost the ball is beyond me.
Cassell had a good look. That one wouldn't go down. Cassell mad at himself. Iverson spinning, finds McKee, and McKee wisely throws it back out. Irvin Johnson altering the decision process there. Still Philly ball.
Which team is going to really be able to take advantage of the open court opportunities is going to make the difference in the game. Philadelphia so far has not been able to cash in on any transition opportunities. Larry Brown wants a timeout.
So Brown will talk it over. Just under 4 minutes remaining. Second quarter of Game 5. The Bucks with a 13-point lead.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Here at the First Union Center, we'll have the NBA All-Star Game next year, 2002. It's been a wonderful building throughout the playoffs. So lively after years of it being a little dead, certainly over at the Spectrum. Shot blocked, Tim Thomas inside, got a piece of it. Robinson a rebound. Allen forcing the tempo, and Thomas rattles it in.
Beautiful contribution by Ray Allen. Up and down the court. Allen started the game with 5 points in the first 2 minutes. He has been scoreless since then, but the contribution to the passing department, as evidence there, certainly much needed.
Allen with 3 assists in the first half. Mutombo off the mark. Eric Snow the rebound, and he draws the foul against Irvin Johnson. Johnson picks up his 3rd.
The story of the first half has been the Milwaukee Bucks' ability to get in transition and get open opportunities. Tim Thomas, who had been struggling, finally waking up in Game 4 and now 5, taps himself on the head.
So Snow to the free throw line. Sixers 4 of 5 from the line so far, and Bucks have taken 4 free throws. Snow hits the first. Log on to NBCSports.com for comprehensive playoff coverage. Matt Kukas will provide an in-depth preview of Friday's Game 6. Plus, email Bill your playoff questions and check out his latest mailbag, which compares the overall talents of Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson. It's all at NBCSports.com.
Irvin Johnson to the bench, trying to protect him. Now he's got 3 fouls. He has been a major contributor for George Karl's Bucks this evening.
Scott Williams, who has 3 fouls of his own, back in. Allen, an open 3, off the mark, and Tyrone Hill tracks down the rebound.
Ray Allen spun Allen Iverson around on defense that time. Iverson had no clue whatsoever where Allen even was.
Mutombo, aggressive move to the goal. 11 points from Dikembe Mutombo to lead the Sixers.
6 in the quarter, and they ratchet up the defense. Tyrone Hill with the steal. They blow the whistle for either a timeout for Tyrone Hill, and no foul on Sam Cassell.
And Cassell, they did call a foul on him, and that's his 3rd.
Mental breakdowns. Larry Brown has done a great job of double teaming in the back court with his big men, either Tyrone Hill or Dikembe Mutombo. But with Mutombo in the post, rolling by, using that left arm to catapult himself by the stationary.
A little hook there, Bill.
That's what using the left arm means. To just get right by and explode over the top of Scott Williams.
So now 3 starters with 3 fouls for the Bucks. Irvin Johnson, Scott Williams, and perhaps most importantly Cassell, as Tyrone Hill hits the first free throw.
Philadelphia needs to give the fans something to cheer about, so they're not just sitting there dazed and confused throughout the half.
A quiet moment for Larry Brown. His team has been down by as many as 16. Well, with just over 2.5 to go in the second, they've cut it to 9. And the crowd has come alive again. Hunter is in the game for Cassell. Good defense by McKee and better shooting by Robinson.
Nothing you can do with that. Robinson is in a pretty good zone and a pretty good rhythm now. He's got 12 in the ball game, 6 in this quarter.
And he's 5 of 7 from the field. Second straight, very strong offensive game for Robinson.
Now, this is when Snow and company have to make the shot. He's wide open. He's got to drop this in.
And he does. Eric Snow now 3 for 4 from the field. Under 2 minutes remaining.
George Karl playing a very small lineup right now. Get lots of action. Try to interchange with Hill and Mutombo defensively. Free up your scores. Thomas and Robinson.
Robinson trying to take Tyrone Hill off the dribble. Left-handed block by Mutombo. Iverson knocked away. Gets it to McKee. How did that one not go in? Thomas. Lindsey Hunter. Three-pointer won't go, and Aaron McKee the rebound. Tyrone Hill is shaken up.
On that block, he and Mutombo made a collision, so it's been about 30 seconds, and he's finally getting some feeling back in that arm.
Mutombo had it and lost it. 8 on the shot clock. Knocked away, but a reach-in foul, and free throws coming up for Dikembe Mutombo.
Dikembe Mutombo restoring order for Philadelphia.
Oh, the universe, it's right again, huh?
Coming back. The left hand, exquisite block here. It led to a fast break opportunity. The ball just trickles out in Philadelphia. The loyalists cannot believe it.
Ray Allen picks up his second foul. And Mutombo 11 points, 6 boards.
As a loyalist, is that a political party?
After, of course, tonight, Eastern Conference Finals continues Friday night at 9 Eastern. Back to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee as the Sixers and the Bucks go at it. One team will be facing elimination. That's Game 6 on Friday night at 9 Eastern right here on NBC.
It would be very helpful for Milwaukee's cause if Ray Allen could come alive. He still hasn't scored since the opening 2 minutes of the ball game.
Tyrone Hill deflects it out of bounds as this entire place getting on its feet once again.
Well, one of the reasons, again, that Ray Allen hasn't scored, he hasn't taken that many shots. So, you know, other players were scoring, and he didn't feel he had to get into it. Now he's got to find a way to reignite himself offensively. Allen with the ball.
And you see the real value of Sam Cassell, who with some ill-advised fouls has cost his team momentum.
Thomas looks up at the shot clock, which says 3. Goes in, blocked by Hill, but a foul call.
Now that's how you quiet a crowd. That's how you win on the road. Get to the hoop, get to the foul line, force the officials to blow that whistle.
First foul on Hill.
Now, Tim Thomas has this kind of ability. He almost covers it up like a running back and then puts it back out there. Everybody here in the building thought it was a clean strip. Tim Thomas going to the line. Thomas playing a very energetic game for George Karl.
Talked so much about Aaron McKee being the 6th-man winner. Tim Thomas was the runner-up for that award. He had a wonderful season this year for the Milwaukee Bucks. In his 4th year, he's only 24 years old.
They've got a lot of real young stars on this Milwaukee team, and it's going to be dynamic for years to come.
Darvin Ham, who didn't play at all in Game 4, will come in. Ray Allen with the 2 fouls will sit down. George Karl certainly doesn't want to see Allen pick up his 3rd as well.
Yeah, with 39.5 seconds to go in the half, Darvin Ham comes in, and you know they can use all 6 if he wants to go.
9-point lead for the Bucks, coming up on a half-minute remaining in the second quarter.
Blast to the hoop if you're Iverson.
Iverson has it knocked away in a reach-in foul call. Aaron McKee coming over, picking up the personal. That's his 2nd, and now the 76ers in the penalty.
Allen Iverson never had control of that ball. He's looking for the officials to bail him out, but he never really got himself or the ball under control, and was hoping that on that pass he would be able to get a call. You can see he's struggling right here. The ball bounces off of his chest. So, you know, if I yell enough, maybe things will go my way.
Thomas with the first. And Thomas had the big playoff series last year when the Bucks lost in the opening round to the Indiana Pacers. Averaged over 15 a game, then signed the big deal, 6 years, $67 million. And this year he's been a little inconsistent in the postseason. But having a very strong game here tonight.
He's deceptively tall. I mean, this is a guy who stands up straight so rarely that you forget that he's near 6'9".
Bad posture.
I don't understand it.
6'10" is what they list him at. And he's got 13 first-half points to lead Milwaukee in scoring.
I don't know if he's quite 6'10". I was next to him the other day.
Well, you got to remember, you're 7 feet.
I'm 6'11". I've got more than an inch on me.
Snow hammered by Darvin Ham, a hard foul. And it's just going to be a regular 2-shot foul. Snow gets up hobbling. And he'll shoot 2 free throws.
That's why Darvin Ham is in the game. You know, waste all of them, but if you're going to try to inflict a little bit of punishment in the process, and Ham's now going to come out of the ball game. Ray Allen coming back in with 6.8 seconds left, and Snow will go to the line. So Snow has been good. Iverson's going to come out and get his first breather, and try to carry that on into the locker room and be a more calmer, efficient Allen Iverson when he returns for the second half of play.
Is that one close to a flagrant?
Heavens no. His chest on it.
Kevin Ollie comes in.
It's arguably not a foul.
See, now you've hurt your credibility on the flagrant then. He hit it very hard.
Credibility is something Bill has never been concerned with.
6.8 seconds remaining. Snow off the bench with the ankle problems. He has 8 points in the quarter, 10 points in the first half. Allen's going to try and get off a final shot against Raja Bell. Allen lost the dribble. Snow fires it up. That's not a bad attempt considering the circumstances. And Sam Cassell with his 3 personals watches the bench come through. Tim Thomas again with the 13 points.
MVP time. Allen Iverson's got 24 minutes.
Back in Philadelphia, about ready for the third quarter. Before the game, Larry Brown told us that defensive intensity would be one of the keys for the 76ers. I just spoke to him coming out of the locker room. He said the intensity is fine. He just wants the pace to slow down in this game. He feels like they're playing right into the Bucks' hands. 19 fast break points for the Bucks. He says that's not going to do it. Let's send it over to Lewis Johnson.
Thanks, Andrea. Talked to George Karl a few moments ago about his concern with 3 starters in foul trouble. Cassell, Irvin Johnson, Scott Williams, all with 3. He said it's big and it sort of slowed the momentum, but in this second half, energy and an excellent spirit, which is what he saw in the first half, will win this game. Mike?
All right, guys, thank you. As Iverson getting inside, flips it up, won't go. Tyrone Hill, the offensive rebound, put back, misses. Mutombo hammered by Scott Williams, and that's his 4th.
If you're Philadelphia, get to the hoop. Their big guys from Milwaukee are in foul trouble, as well as Sam Cassell. Allen Iverson, initial contact with the ball, take it right to the rim. The backcourt, Iverson and McKee, had a very quiet first half. They need to come alive. Jermaine Jones, who put up the initial shot that sequence, he was a non-factor.
Williams not upset with the call, upset with himself. As Mutombo hits another free throw, and Dikembe Mutombo not only rebounding and blocking shots, but he's been a very good offensive weapon for the Sixers.
Well, the story of this ball game is going to be Will from this point on. The 76ers are trying to claw the way in it, and the Milwaukee Bucks have to hold them off. And in that category, the 76ers have demonstrated greater success. So this is going to be a big third quarter for the Milwaukee Bucks and Sam Cassell.
Allen Iverson has taken the sleeve off of his right arm, protects his elbow.
Well, he's thinking, that's hurting my shooting, but he showed on that drive right there. He just is short on everything, and he's got to fight through this. He's fighting himself. He's fighting the bigness of the moment, and he's got to find a way to get the ball to go in.
I can't remember the last time he played without it. I forgot how many tattoos he has on that right arm. Mutombo McKee for three, puts it in. Aaron McKee, who had a big second half in game 4, starts off well here in the third quarter.
This matchup of Iverson on Ray Allen has not been a good one, but it works that time for Philadelphia.
Jermaine Jones, Cassell with the 3 fouls, has to move away. And just like that, this is the closest the Sixers have been since the first quarter.
It is a 4-point game, and as we said, in Milwaukee, the third quarter was the difference. The crowd in this one.
Allen on a pull-up. Oh, tough shot from Ray Allen. That's his first field goal since the opening minutes.
McKee is trying to force it left. If he can get a little bit of help from some of his teammates on that, give him a little bit of a jab step into Ray Allen's rhythm, might be successful defensively.
Iverson stepping back way off the mark. Tyrone Hill coming up with another offensive rebound. He's got 3 on the offensive glass. Hill against Scott Williams, who's playing with the 4 fouls, has to back away, but Hill can't finish. Ball knocked out of bounds. Bucks will take it.
Milwaukee's big men, Scott Williams and Irvin Johnson, every possession this half have been pushed underneath the basket. Will not get it done for George Karl.
Tyrone Hill very upset with himself for missing that one from point-blank range. Cassell draws the foul on Iverson. Shot just off the back of the rim. And Iverson picks up his first personal. Cassell to the line for the first time tonight.
Cassell has already taken more shots this game in the first half than he did the entire game of game 4.
Cassell knocking down the first. Reminder about the game show that's taking America by storm. Weakest Link. Catch it on a special night of time this Sunday at 10, 9 Central. That's Weakest Link. Back-to-back nights. Sunday at 10, 9 Central, then Monday at 9, 8 Central, right here on NBC.
Remember this, Bill. It's not how many shots you take. It's how many you make. So somebody's got to be making some shots for the 76ers in white because Allen Iverson is struggling.
I couldn't disagree more.
Jermaine Jones knocks down the 2. I want to know who's the first person to say that.
It's all about how many you take. You're going to make some if you get a ton up there. Tyrone Hill completely outplaying Scott Williams.
Hill comes up with a steal. Mutombo setting a hard screen on Cassell. Remember, Cassell is playing with that flak jacket with the bruised ribs as Iverson misses. Tyrone Hill the rebound. So much made of the Sixers injuries, but Sam Cassell is really hurting. But you don't hear much about it. Iverson misses. Mutombo knocked out of his hands. Jermaine Jones on the follow.
Every time that Philadelphia has missed, they've got the offensive rebounds. 6 misses this quarter for Philadelphia. They've got 5 offensive rebounds.
McKee guarding Allen. Now Scott Williams. And Iverson with the board. The momentum has shifted here in the third quarter. McKee pulling up. And Irvin Johnson with his 5th rebound.
What the Sixers have to remember is you're not going to win the ball game in 1 or 2 possessions. This is going to have to be a game that you grind it out and fight your way to get control of the game. Mutombo with the rebound. Larry Brown wants a timeout. He's going crazy. He's trying to get out on the floor, get that timeout, and make sure his team understands. We got a lot of time, guys. We're back in the game.
Larry Brown playing without George Lynch, of course, is out for the rest of the playoffs, but Jermaine Jones has stepped up in his place.
After a quiet first half when he only had 2 points, did have 3 rebounds. Jermaine Jones, the ball movement recipient, this nice stroke, and then getting it done on the offensive glass himself. Mutombo, Tyrone Hill, just pounding away time and time again.
Jermaine Jones with the last 6 points for the Sixers, who will pull to within 4. George Lynch, such a huge part of this team, broke his left foot in game 4 of the series against the Raptors. So he's done for the playoffs. In his place starting, Jermaine Jones, just his 2nd year out of Georgia, only 22 years old. And he's had some big games. Had 16 points against the Raptors in game 7. Had 16 in game 2. And you see his numbers as a starter, really providing not only scoring, but he's rebounding well, and he's also playing some very solid defense.
And his ability to slow down Glenn Robinson has been critical for Philadelphia. And nobody can keep Mutombo or Hill off the offensive glass.
And a foul there on Jermaine Jones as Cassell's shaken up on the play. Gets a little help from Irvin Johnson. Iverson is now 2 for 18, and not to make excuses, but obviously that tailbone's got to be hurting. He has some nights where he doesn't shoot the ball well, but it's really got to be hurting for him because he's had some pretty good looks.
But he's pressing right now because he realizes his offense is so important, and he's looking for one of those spurts, and it just won't come to him. Everybody here is telling him, drive, Ivy, drive. Won't do it, so he's taking what they give him, nothing going close.
It's 2 for 18, and they're down 4. That's a great sign for Philadelphia.
4 on the clock for Allen.
Allen, tough shot. McKee defended it well, and Ray Allen drills it. The smooth jumper from the all-star Ray Allen, and the Bucks back up by 6.
Philadelphia needs to keep penetrating. That's what's giving them the edge on the offensive glass. And Milwaukee has to play better perimeter defense. Not just let guys waltz into the paint.
Mutombo and Jones playing the 2-man game, and there, one from the old days.
The sky hook. Jabbar. Throw it down.
See the smile on your face when one of those gets thrown up there.
We have seen new levels in virtually every category of Mutombo's game.
Good ball movement here from the Bucks, but the Sixers rotating well. Robinson comes up short. Tim Thomas tips it and knocked off the leg of Tyrone Hill. That's a terrific play from Tim Thomas.
Well, they have to play small with Scott Williams in serious foul trouble early on.
Milwaukee feeling the pressure right now of this quick rush by the 76ers, and they have to calm down. You know, they know what they do well, and they've got to keep the big 3 shooting. Iverson trying to harass Sam Cassell.
And he did harass him into a quick shot. How does that go in?
Even Sam, the most confident player in the league, couldn't believe that.
Milwaukee back up by 6. And Aaron McKee on a foul. He pushed Sam Cassell out of the way. And McKee now with 3 personal fouls.
If you're Sam Cassell, you just got a lucky bounce right here. You got a fortunate call from the referee on it. You get run over here by Aaron McKee. Now take it yourself to the hoop. Play a very solid, disciplined game if you're Cassell.
How did that shot go in and hit the front of the rim, almost the bottom of the front of the rim? And Cassell comes right back. A little more conventional bucket for Sam Cassell. The Bucks back up by 8.
All 3 of the big guns for Milwaukee have made important baskets early on here in the 3rd.
Well, they scored all of the points. Iverson for 3 gets fouled on the play, and the 4th foul on Sam Cassell.
A huge call, and Cassell's going to have to sit down. He's picked up some technicals early. Glenn Robinson, I think, went over to him, told him to be careful. Cassell now calmly talking to Ronnie Nunn.
Well, Cassell has hit the floor on this play before, and the whistle hasn't gone in his favor, so the percentages finally catch up for Allen Iverson. And this is the only place where he's really had any kind of comfort is on the free throw line.
Now talking with Bennett Salvatore. Cassell, right as of now, who's still in the game with the 4 fouls. See Iverson doing other things besides scoring. And there it is. The crowd getting on Sam Cassell, and he's been hit with a technical foul. He had one in game 1, he had one in game 2, and he's hurting his team right now.
What is he thinking?
Well, he's hot, and he's hot with George Karl for standing up and getting on him about it, and he's going off and trying to explain, hey, you know, the ref needs to know what's going on out here. And the captain, Irvin Johnson, trying to calm him down. Now, Sam will tell you, I'm calm. I know what I'm doing.
You know, we say this all the time. So many of these games have been close.
He's still talking. He's fighting everybody now.
And 2 techs and you're out. If this game is decided by 1 or 2 points, I mean, sometimes a game can be decided by that close, and a season can be decided, and you're hurting your team by just giving away points on those technicals.
And for a guy that's been struggling, you give him 4 points, and it's a 4-point game.
Robinson, quick shot. And Tyrone Hill the rebound. 7 rebounds for Tyrone Hill, who's having a solid game.
Very few second chance opportunities for the much smaller Milwaukee Bucks. Margin for error so minuscule.
Now, if you're Aaron McKee, you got to realize Sam Cassell has shifted over to you and try to score the ball when you get a chance.
beautiful hook shot from Mutombo, and it's a two-point game. The closest the Sixers have been since the opening minutes. Sam Cassell leads the Bucks with 16 points, but he has 4 personal fouls, and he picked up a technical foul, which was discussed by Ray Allen and Bennett Salvatore, the official.
He gonna say something. You guys get mad at him like he can't say nothing out here.
No, he can say what he wants if he says it in a professional manner. I don't talk to him like that, right? He's not going to talk to me like that. I gave him enough, bro.
As he said, he gave him enough rope. And a lot of rope there for Cassell. Salvatore, one of the top officials in the league in his 19th year as an NBA ref.
Story for the Milwaukee Bucks in the closing moments of Game 4, composure. That has been the story here at the start of the quarter. They've lost their composure, and they're letting the bigness of the moment get to them, and they need to just calm down and play through.
But for Philadelphia, the momentum, the tempo is all there. They're controlling the boards. They got 5 offensive rebounds. This half alone, they've got 6 free throw attempts. They've made them all.
Jermaine Jones inside. Won't get the roll. Mutombo, another rebound. Blocked by Johnson. Mutombo again. And it's blocked the second time. Aaron McKee for 3. Oh, this place would have exploded. Instead, we have a loose ball foul called against Philly.
What makes it so difficult to defensive rebound against Philadelphia is that you always got to be worried. Everybody, 5 guys guarding this type of penetration. Mostly it comes from Iverson. But when you got McKee coming, Jermaine Jones coming, the big guys have to step off, and that allows Mutombo and Tyrone Hill to dominate the offensive glass.
Glenn Robinson driving on Hill. Couple of fakes. Mutombo hauls in his 11th rebound.
And we talked about character, and that's what Philadelphia is demonstrating right now. Their character to play through adversity, to come up with something that's going to get them back in the game. They haven't gotten the lead. They're not over the top yet, but they're threatening, and that really got Sam Cassell and the Bucks tight.
Iverson continues to miss as Robinson gets the rebound. Iverson now 2 of 19 from the field.
And Milwaukee clearly a solid defensive adjustment from Game 4, where they're forcing Iverson back to the middle of the floor.
Last touch by Irvin Johnson. Bucks really seem to be rushing their shots.
Well, you know, when you have the lead and you feel the opponent coming, you have a tendency to feel that you've got to continue to keep that lead all at once. This is now a grinded-out possession kind of game. This is what Philadelphia wanted. This is not what Milwaukee wanted, but Milwaukee has got to play better defense. They've got to really ratchet it down and tighten up, and if they do, they're still ahead. Iverson and fans tell him, don't shoot.
Jones' three-pointer way short. Cassell, good lead pass to Robinson. Iverson does a good job knocking it away. Robinson lost it out of bounds. Terrific defensive play from Allen Iverson. He's not let his poor shooting affect the rest of his game.
When you find yourself with, like Glenn Robinson, dribbling and there's nothing but guards around, you have to think, pick the ball up and wait for somebody else to come and bail you out. Cassell's got to sit it out with the 4 fouls.
How long does George Karl, obviously he sits out the rest of the 3rd quarter.
It depends on how the game is going. Now, Philadelphia finishes in a big rush. Sam Cassell is going to have to be back out on the floor. Crowd counting MVP, trying to get Allen Iverson a little boost.
It was when Cassell went to the bench in the first half that Milwaukee fell apart and gave Philadelphia a little bit of room.
And there, finally, a bucket for Iverson as he ties the game at 63. The Sixers have come all the way back from 16 down. Robinson for 3. Oh, Robinson knocks it down. A big answer from Glenn Robinson, who's got 17.
But they're not playing at the same quickness that they did in the first 24 minutes of the game, and that has to concern George Karl.
Iverson again gets inside, feeding Mutombo, and Mutombo is fouled before any shot.
What a hesitation move by Allen Iverson. 2 possessions ago, it was Iverson along that left baseline. 1 dribble, get in the air. The jumper goes down. It comes right back, though, and Glenn Robinson, off the nice ball movement at the top of the key, the defense is there. Just too good. And then Iverson came right back on the same play and faked the pull-up and then exploded along that baseline and got to the paint area, set up Mutombo.
Hunter is third foul, third team foul.
Eric Snow in the game, and Jermaine Jones down.
Iverson misfires. Robinson with a tough rebound in traffic.
Lindsey Hunter has to come and take that ball away from Glenn Robinson.
Robinson, that mid-range jumper, and he's got 19.
That is what they need. A chance for Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen to strike quickly, not have to fight the defensive pressure. 5 quick points for the big dog.
Right after the Sixers tied it, Robinson answers back. Tyrone Hill shoved to the floor by Robinson, and a flagrant foul. Bernie Fryer's going to call a flagrant foul.
Glenn Robinson needs to just walk away on this.
Of course, Robinson was thrown out after losing his cool in the final seconds of Game 4. So a flagrant 1 foul. So 2 shots for Tyrone Hill, and then the Sixers will get possession of the ball.
Don't argue.
Well, he pointed in the direction of Tyrone Hill, and Bernie Fryer was ready to step over and hit him with another. They got his entire team switching him away, trying to get him away from the officials and calm down.
You start doing that, you can get called for a taunting technical foul. So Hill with the 2 free throws. Tyrone Hill.
What could be more important than winning this game at this moment in these guys' lives? What are they thinking?
It's a selfish frame of mind when you start thinking about you have to retaliate with this macho, don't deserve to take this from somebody.
The shot's going to go in the air, and he gets the better position, and Glenn Robinson just pushes him out of there. Now, this is probably an accumulation of frustration from Robinson of being beat on the inside for that offensive position, and he pays the price for it, and now the 76ers get to 2 free throws and a chance to get the lead back with this possession or tie the ball game.
And especially a bad move from Robinson because the momentum had changed, and a foul before the shot as Mutombo is hit. Irvin Johnson picks up his 4th foul. And the Bucks not showing good poise right now.
All the things that we talked about at halftime Philadelphia needed to do, they have done masterfully. They've gotten to the foul line. The backcourt has come alive. Jermaine Jones has made some solid contributions, and they've regained control of the tempo.
And Mutombo now with 20 points. That's his high point game for this year's playoffs.
Irvin Johnson comes out of the ball game. Now they got that real small team that allowed Philadelphia to get on a roll, but every one of the Milwaukee Bucks is beating his gums in the direction of the officials, and it's hurting the team, and someone has to take control of them emotionally in order for them to pull this game out now.
And how about the Sixers? 22 of 23 from the free throw line. Last touch by Snow. Still Bucks ball. 13 on the shot clock. 1:13 left in a 3rd quarter. And has seen the Sixers turn this game around.
If you're a Milwaukee fan, you do not like the trend of the scoring. 29-22, and they're struggling to get to 20. Ray Allen.
Ray Allen with a great look and gets the shooter's roll. So Allen now with 11 points, so the Bucks back up by 3.
The free throw disparity, huge, continue to reflect Philadelphia is attacking the rim while Milwaukee settling for the perimeter game.
Mutombo looking. Raja Bell. And Caffey the rebound.
Get on the run, get the ball back to Ray Allen.
Smart move from Lindsey Hunter to Robinson, but he couldn't take advantage of the Bell matchup, and it's going to be Philly ball. Caffey touched it last.
Ray Allen's got a man with a broken foot guarding him. He's got a guy who's limping and dragging that leg, Eric Snow. And they're not even giving this dynamic performer a chance to explode.
Bell sits down. Larry Brown calls Eric Snow a superstar on the defensive end, but he just is not even close to 100%. That's a 3. Bang! Aaron McKee from downtown. And the Sixers tie it up again.
Larry Brown is yelling. He wants him to give a foul, and Eric Snow doesn't see it, stomping his feet.
Snow is aware they have a foul to give and commits it. So Brown goes right out there. Snow is almost like, I know.
Well, there was going to be some ears chewed if that foul didn't get given, because he went up early enough and made the indication with the shot clock running down.
There's Brown. What we mean by a foul to give is the next foul would not put them in a penalty. It would make the Bucks have to inbound it once again. And now if they commit another foul, then they would shoot. But it forces the Bucks to inbound and set up the play again with only 8 seconds left. Allen. Hunter for 3. Rebound tipped and taken by Allen. Robinson, what kind of it goes? And Robinson just off the mark. The First Union Center is exploding. The 76ers down by as many as 16 points. A bounce back to tie up Game 5. Game 5 all tied up as we head to the fourth quarter. Two teams that have tough first-round opponents to advance. Both went 7 games in the second round to advance. Now they're tied at 2 in this pivotal Game 5. The Bucks storming out to the 16-point lead. But the Sixers slowly chipping away. Sam Cassell with 4 fouls on the bench. Allen Iverson struggling from the field, but really helping the team out in other areas. As we go to the fourth quarter even, as one team looks to go up 3-2 in this best of 7.
Remember, Mike, in the first half, George Karl told his team, keep your energy up. The team that's going to win this game is a team that wins a physical game, that wins the hustle game, and the third quarter, as in Milwaukee in Game 4, belongs to Philadelphia.
But how long can George Karl go with Sam Cassell sitting on the bench with the 4 fouls?
Ray Allen with Tyrone Hill on a 3 on the shot clock. Allen has to put it up. Won't go. Rebound Mutombo, his 12th.
The defense for Philadelphia dug in now. They have the rhythm. They're controlling the pace and tempo.
Well, you know, an offensive team has to see balls go down in order for them to be good at the defensive end, and that's not been the story for the Milwaukee Bucks. They get a turnover and a chance to gather themselves. Let's see if they get their composure back, because Sam Cassell is sitting over there, and they need Lindsey Hunter to play big while he's out on the floor.
That last turnover caused by good ball denial from Ray Allen. Robinson knocked away. Robinson has gotten himself in trouble with a little too much dribbling in the paint.
He hasn't responded well after he picked up that technical and the flagrant foul.
Snow has Thomas on him. Iverson being chased by Hunter. Allen Iverson forces it up, puts it in, and the Sixers have their first lead of the game.
And you say it was forced, but that was his best-looking shot of the ball game. He went up and got a real good look, got nothing but the bottom of the net.
Robinson pass deflected.
Aaron McKee doing it defensively, and now with an opportunity in transition.
Aaron McKee. And here's where the Sixers excel. The momentum is completely shifted to Philadelphia.
The identity and the personality of the Philadelphia 76ers has stepped front and center here in the second half of the ball game. And even though he has struggled to find the bottom of the net, Allen Iverson continues to fire away. And then it's that scrappy defense that produces a fast break opportunity. And the Sixers have a whole lot more than momentum going for them now.
What they've done is they've forced Milwaukee to become a walking team. Fast break points in the first half, all Milwaukee, 19-4 edge. In the second half, they have yet to convert a single fast break.
Cassell just gets off the bench. He'll come in at the next whistle. The Bucks again in Game 6 against Charlotte. They were down by 15 points and came back and won it to force a Game 7. They've had a lot of character wins themselves. And Robinson is fouled this time as he went across the lane. Eric Snow picking up his second foul.
Mutombo realized defensively that time in the matchup as Sam Cassell comes back in. When he's in the game, the Bucks +5. That number has been plummeting. It was as high as +17 early in the game.
Counted and one. Ray Allen with a spectacular shot, and he drew the foul. And Allen Iverson Iverson picks up his third personal. Ray Allen with a chance for a three-point play.
A little bit of mental letdown by the 76ers on the defensive end. Iverson giving away the baseline. Mutombo comes over, but Allen decides to go on, and he has a chance for a three-point play, and that takes a lot of pressure off of the Bucks at the top of the court.
When you're playing against Ray Allen and you got Mutombo behind you, force him left every single time. He's just too good, too creative, too explosive when he's going right.
Allen chasing Iverson. Snow with 8 on the shot clock. That's a three, a rainbow. Back of the rim. And Cassell gets the rebound. Thomas did a good job tipping it. Tim Thomas has had a very strong game for the Bucks off the bench. Allen again. McKee called for the foul. We have somebody nod their head and actually agree with the foul call.
Well, it's Aaron McKee. No, but those are guys in white. It's been the guys in purple and green that have had the trouble with the officials here in the second half. Irvin Johnson in the ball game, so they get a little bit more size in.
4 fouls on McKee. 13th foul against the Sixers.
Cassell and Irvin Johnson both have 4 fouls. Attack them if you're Philadelphia.
Count it, and one. Ray Allen drills the three, and a foul, and a chance for a 4-point play for Allen. And the foul goes against Iverson. That's his 4th.
The matchup of Iverson on Ray Allen has not been a good one throughout this series. Jermaine Jones steps away. You got a guy who's as talented as Ray Allen coming to his strong hand, and he's getting screens to score. You got to step out and think about double teaming.
7 straight points for Ray Allen, and the Bucks on top by 3. And that's what Milwaukee needed. Somebody to step forward, take a little bit of the pressure off of them, throw it back to Philadelphia. Let's see how the Sixers respond. They're trying to look for Mutombo.
Iverson. Eric Snow gets inside. Scoop layup from Eric Snow. Doesn't get the roll. Cappy, though, tips it out to Philly. Snow comes right back and drills the jumper.
Long rebounds. First to possession of loose balls. Critical elements in Philadelphia's attack all the time.
Allen taking advantage of Iverson again. This time doesn't get the roll, but Mutombo rips that one down.
Well, Milwaukee is not a good offensive rebounding when it's 1 and out. They're
An offensive foul they call on Tyrone Hill. He was trying to root Irvin Johnson out of his position.
That's 4 fouls on Hill, I believe. No, that's 3. So Tyrone Hill against Johnson down low.
A strong call by Ronnie Nunn. Just backing up, backing up. Irvin Johnson playing with 4. They desperately need him the rest of this way if Milwaukee's going to have any hopes of winning.
Robinson goes right at Mutombo, and Tyrone Hill brings in the miss. Eric Snow has played a very gritty game, playing on that stress fracture. Suffered in game 4.
This has actually been Eric's best game. You know, he struggled in Milwaukee in both of the games. Started to get better in game 4, but he's been very, very good this evening. Shot short by Hill.
Hill has been short on that right baseline jumper all series. McKee pokes it away, but Allen gets it back.
Keep on the run if you're Milwaukee. Don't stand around.
And a foul call. It'll go against Eric Snow, and the Sixers in the penalty, so Glenn Robinson will go back to the free throw line. Remember, he finally took his first free throws of the game earlier in the first half.
Well, Eric Snow is going to get called. The official said he leg whipped him, but that doesn't look like that's the case. Came around, came underneath, and Robinson went down.
Backside.
But he didn't take the legs from underneath him, as the official indicated.
Robinson, as I mentioned, not taking any free throws the first 4 games of the series, and he's now 1 for 3 here tonight. Of course, the Eastern Conference Finals continue Friday night at 9 Eastern. Series back to Milwaukee for Game 6 of the Bradley Center. Friday night at 9 Eastern on NBC. Which team will be up 3-2? Which team will be 1 win away from the NBA Finals?
If you're going to beg to get to the line, you have to make your shots when you get there. Glenn Robinson twice tonight because of a fabulous free throw shooter, and he goes 1 for 2.
Overall, Robinson's strong game, 20 points, 7 boards.
Let's see if they stay with Mutombo or they get a double team and kick the ball back out. 7 on the clock, drivers.
Gets inside, flips it up, blocked by Cappy, but a goaltend. That one clearly on the way down. George Karl arguing, but that seemed to be a good call.
Down the lane, Iverson, the quickest player in the league. Waited just a little bit too long. If Caffey had gone with an angle on it, he might have had a chance. But Iverson's so good on the penetrating slash.
Well, that was a good call. And the game tied again at 78. Still plenty of time, 7.5 remaining. Iverson now with 15.
They continue to go at the Iverson-Allen matchup, knowing Iverson's got 4 fouls. They force the switch. Will they get the ball to Glenn Robinson?
Ray Allen now with McKee on him, finding the open Caffey. Caffey charges in hard. Misses the first attempt at Tyrone Hill with his 9th rebound.
Glenn Robinson had a mismatch with Iverson. They couldn't get him the ball. Philadelphia's defense just supreme.
5 minutes gone by, 4th quarter. McKee trying to draw a foul, comes up short. Again, for the 2nd straight game, the officials have let them play. It's been a physical game. Cassell back in, looking to post up Iverson.
They need more of this. Iverson's got 4 fouls.
Ray Allen rattles it home. Ray Allen coming alive here in the 4th. And the Bucks back up by 2. 20 points for Ray Allen. 9 of them here in the quarter. And a timeout call by Larry Brown.
Well, what Ray Allen has done is really become more aggressive and assertive at the offensive end, and what he does well is pull up on that jump shot, and Larry Brown is going to try to get some way to get the ball out of his hand.
Whenever you talk to a great scorer like a Ray Allen, and he has a couple of bad games like he did in 3 and 4, and the defense gets all the credit, they always come back with the comment, you know, it wasn't the defense, it was me. Well, Ray Allen is showing today that it was just him in those games 3 and 4. He scored 9 of the Bucks' last 10 points.
Now fighting defensively against Iverson, who flips it up. Shot won't go. Mutombo had it knocked away by Glenn Robinson. Here comes Cassell. Draws the foul. Shot didn't go.
Beautiful.
He'll shoot 2. Sam Cassell has been plagued by foul difficulties. We'll go to the line.
Well, Sam Cassell does this as well as anybody that's played the game. A little pump fake, get the player off of his feet, and walk to the free throw line. So Cassell has had a cooling off period, and he is ready to roll. Look at that. He's saying, "Hey, give me back the ball. You don't let them do that."
Cassell got a good rest, and he now hits both. And a 4-point lead for the Milwaukee Bucks. They trail by 4 early in this period.
Sam gets into trouble, though, when he lets a little bit of the junk in the street come into his game.
So those free throw numbers in favor of Philly the whole series in the first 3 quarters, but not so far in the 4th. Mutombo. And Irvin Johnson called for the foul before the shot. And it's only the first team foul, but it's the 5th against Johnson.
Now Johnson takes a pretty good shot on the way to Mutombo making this move. He got it in, got a little room to work, and Mutombo wide with the elbows, caught Johnson right around the chops.
Come right back to Mutombo.
I think they're going to get Tim Thomas in the ball game.
But they're going to play so small here.
So Caffey will play Mutombo.
For Milwaukee, their 3 stars, Cassell, Allen, and Robinson, have all 31 points for the Bucks in this 2nd half.
Well, let's see how smart Philadelphia plays and whether they do give Mutombo a chance to work. 6 on the clock.
Again, the jump hook. Caffey tips it, and Cassell able to reel it in. Sam Cassell fires away, and McKee tracks that down. 5.5 to play here in Game 5. The series all tied at 2 apiece. McKee. And a foul before the shot. So again, they'll take it out of bounds. It's only the 2nd team foul. Caffey picks up the foul, and that's going to be his first.
Iverson has come alive here. Time to come back to him right now. First 30 minutes of the game, Iverson only had 5 points. The last 10 minutes, he's had 10 points. It all started when he had that parade to the free throw line when he went 4 for 4. 3 free throws from a foul on a 3-point and then a technical foul as well.
Well, you know that Philadelphia is not a great jump shooting team. McKee for 3.
Tim Thomas, good boxing out on Hill. Able to tip it to himself.
So they've got to find a way to move the ball, move themselves a little bit quicker. And try to do it at this end of the floor defensively, force some sort of turnover. 10 on the clock for Cassell.
Tim Thomas on a switch on a screen, but he rushed the shot, comes up short.
He couldn't believe how wide open he was. He had no one but Iverson, who had already given up on the play.
Snow has Caffey on him. He wants to take him off the dribble. Quick move from Snow, and he puts it in. And Snow comes hobbling out after knocking down the layup. Amazing how he's playing through this.
Huge play by Snow to get the crowd back in it. They were beginning to doubt the Sixers, but there's still a ton of time to go. 4:20 and count.
Bucks still with a 2-point advantage. Knocked away. McKee with the steal. 2-on-1. Tyrone Hill, a hard foul. Now let's see if it's a flagrant.
Called it flagrant.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thomas says, no, I'm going for the ball, but that's not a prerequisite for a flagrant. It's excessive contact deemed by the official. That's a flagrant, whether or not you're going for the ball.
The defense for Philadelphia again, tipping balls away. Defending the pick and roll. Larry Brown couldn't be more proud of his team.
So Hill will shoot 2, and the Sixers will get the ball out again. Both flagrant fouls have come against Tyrone Hill.
Larry Brown wants a timeout after the free throw, and this is again a chance to swing the momentum drastically in favor of his team if he can come up with 4 points out of this possession.
And the Sixers have made 23 straight free throws. They've only missed 1 the entire game. And Tyrone Hill knocks down a pair. Coming up Friday night, Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Sixers and Bucks from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, our coverage starts on NBC. And tonight, after the game and after your late local news, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and Kevin Eubanks on hand here at the First Union Center.
He's from Philadelphia. He's as nervous as all the other people in the building, and they're hoping right now they can get a big score with this possession to give them the lead.
Still plenty of time, over 4 minutes remaining. Mutombo
doesn't like this side of the floor. This is going to be a difficult score for him if he can get it up.
McKee, Thomas guarding him. Aaron McKee, left-handed, does not get the roll. Mutombo kept it alive. Blocked from behind by Robinson. McKee, and a foul. Aaron McKee with a chance for a 3-point play.
Scoring out of the timeout, and they're calling this on Irvin Johnson. And that will be all. Good defense initially. 2 Bucks right there. Irvin Johnson and Tim Thomas, they battled each other, and it cost them dearly.
The Bucks wanted a jump ball on Glenn Robinson's block on McKee from behind, as Johnson is fouled out. Johnson has had a wonderful series. Had some problems tonight with Mutombo.
Please do not throw any objects onto the court. Nothing.
You know, Philadelphia has been able to break down the defense of the Bucks when they drive the ball or swing it very quickly. They haven't been able to react, and they've gotten back into the glass. They got 3 shots that time, and a lucky bounce for Aaron McKee and a chance for a 5-point play.
It is virtually impossible to win unless you can contain penetration. Guys like Eric Snow, and everybody's coming at you time and time again. You've got to play a flawless offensive game at the other end as Robinson answers right back.
That Robinson was catch by him because that ball was just about over him, and he was able to catch it, get a good look. 1-point game.
He's got 22, the big 3 doing the scoring from Milwaukee. Under 3.5 minutes remaining. 1-point Philly lead. Iverson and Allen.
Send him to the middle if you're Ray Allen. Don't let him go to that right corner.
2 on the shot clock. No offensive foul on Eric Snow. Sam Cassell drawing the charge, and Snow picks up his 4th.
But that was a tentative and confused possession by the Sixers. Snow had it first. He thought about passing it to Mutombo. Then it came back to him, and Cassell did a good job of drawing the foul. So Cassell and the Bucks with possession.
Ray Allen for 3. Allen Allen way off the mark. Thomas.
Nice touch pass.
And Sam Cassell, that one was halfway down before Thomas tips it in.
There have been so few second chance point opportunities for Milwaukee. Maybe none more timely in the entire season than that one.
And Thomas with his first points in the second half. He had that big first half with 13.
Now let's see if they come back to Mutombo quickly. And he's got to go to work right now. And he holds it, 8 on the clock.
Iverson. Too long on the three, and Robinson the rebound. The adrenaline flowing here at the First Union Center.
Now see, that's when they're set like that. Milwaukee does a better job of rebounding the basketball. They got to have ball movement and somebody going to the hoop in order for them to get the misses.
They were finally able to force Philadelphia to make a perimeter play as opposed to coming into the lane.
Cassell spinning. Cassell blocked by Tyrone Hill. Gets it back. And Mutombo comes up with it. Cassell felt he was bad. It looked like a good defensive play from Hill. Under 2 minutes remaining. Sixers down 1 with the ball.
And Brown is asking Iverson to drive.
Good ball movement. Snow wide open. It's good. Eric Snow puts Philly up by 1.
Larry Brown yelling, extend the defense, go down there, pressure the ball, make them walk it up, make them become tentative. Big possession here for the Bucks, coming to Ray Allen.
Allen.
Offensive foul on the screen, trying to free him up.
Impossible even hear the whistle here, as this place has become deafening. Philly will get the ball back up by 1.
Now this is the possession to test the composure of the Milwaukee Bucks. Do they, one, dig in defensively and make the Sixers shoot from the outside and come back with a good hard push?
Get it to Iverson, let him penetrate. Good things have happened all night because of that.
Snow having his best game of the playoffs.
Well, he's got to want to penetrate. There's the lane open.
Iverson off the glass, and Cassell tracks it down. 1:10 remaining here in the fourth. Series all tied at 2 apiece. Pivotal game 5 here in Philadelphia.
Play back to the basket here, Glenn Robinson.
Robinson, no go. Caffey. Thomas. Stolen by McKay. Aaron McKay with terrific anticipation.
Jim Thomas caught in the air. Thinking pass.
He got tight. You know, he started to drive it and he got tight. 6 on the clock for Eric Snow.
Snow puts it up. Puts it in! Eric Snow! Sixers by 3.
With a broken foot. Intelligent decision-making on the defensive end. A hallmark, a trademark of Philadelphia basketball. Tim Thomas pump fakes, gets in the lane, but with no place to go, jumps in the air, has to pass, and Aaron McKay just reads it patiently, comes up with a steal.
Well, you know, the story of Eric Snow is an improbable hero, and that is the story of the Sixers season, and it has been a huge fourth quarter for Eric Snow.
Snow playing with a stress fracture in his foot suffered in game 4, despite having the ankle injury already to the same foot. In the first 4 games combined, Eric Snow had 20 total points. He's got 18 in this one, and that was very close to a backcourt violation.
Snow shooting 7 for 9 on the night. He's made his last 4 from the field.
Well, this is a possession situation for the Bucks, and they're taking a lot of time. Cappy pays off, but it's a 1-point game.
They've got a foul right now.
Shot clock is turned off. They'll look for a steal first, and then there's the foul on Aaron McKay with 13.9 remaining. How about that shot from Cappy over Mutombo?
15 foul, so Aaron McKay and Philadelphia walk the other end, and everybody is standing. They're hoping for 2 free throws to give them a 3-point cushion because they know how dangerous Milwaukee can be shooting the basketball.
McKay, there you see this season, and in the playoffs for his career, he's 78%, and he's hit his only free throw tonight. Big one here, and he comes up way short, and the Sixers lead remains 1 with 13.9 remaining.
Well,
you bring in size for rebounds.
he was tight on that free throw. He wanted to make it too good, and he aimed it, trying to walk off the tension right now with this free throw to give him a 2-point edge.
And that ends the streak, the free throw streak from Philadelphia. Here in this game, they hit 24 in a row. McKee second, way short.
Timeout immediately, Milwaukee.
Aaron McKee comes up short on both free throws, and the Bucks will have a chance to win it.
Wow.
13 seconds remaining. Aaron McKee having another super game, but misses badly on 2 key free throws, and the Bucks will have it, down by 1.
George Karl has been concerned about inbounding the basketball. They don't have the guy that was their best last year, Vinny Del Negro. Tim Thomas inbounded the ball. So Milwaukee with the ball should be trying to score quickly, give themselves 2 chances to get the lead or to tie the ball game up. They're taking a lot of time looking for the big dog.
Robinson knocked away by McKee. Robinson puts it up. Oh, go! Tip, no go! And the Sixers win to take a 3-2 lead. Breaking loss for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Sixers now 1 win away from the NBA Finals. But of course, this series now headed back to Milwaukee.
They had a great look at it. Glenn Robinson back to the basket with a smaller man on him. Actually got wide open on his step-through move. Did have a tip shot at it, too.
Well, you saw the pictures, and they say everything. Larry Brown walked the center court along with Allen Iverson to hug Aaron McKee to say, you bailed us out too many times. Big effort there defensively just to make the ball pop up. And Robinson rushed it a little bit, almost a tip. But by the time Cappy gets it, the ball game is over. Watch him reach in to almost get possession.
That reach was very effective. Generally, you don't want guys to reach. That time it worked for Aaron McKee.
Ray Allen had a great chance at the tip as well. Some terrific performances from the 76ers, including Eric Snow standing by with Andrea Joyce.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, Eric Snow's performance today is symbolic of the entire season for the 76ers, playing under very adverse conditions. How are you able to pull off your best playoff performance of this year with this fractured ankle?
I'm not sure. The Lord is on my side. My family's behind me, the teammates, and all the support I have. I just wanted to come out here and try to see what I can do. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do a little more and make some big plays, but it was a total team effort.
You guys trailed by as many as 16 in the first half. How were you able to come back in the second half? What was the key?
We tried to slow them down. We seen that they had, too many fast break points in the first half, and we felt if we could slow them down and cut off some of those easy baskets, we would give ourselves the opportunity. You
guys had a nice moment out here on the court at the end of the game with Aaron McKee. What did you say to him?
I just told him, hey, that was over with. I mean, you can't replay it. All we can do is get a stop, and we move on, and we were fortunate enough to do that.
All right, congratulations. Let's go to Lewis with Dikembe Mutombo.
All right, Andrea, thanks a lot. Dikembe Mutombo with 21 points, 13 rebounds. Dikembe, at one point you were down 16. How did you all get back in this game?
We just stayed calm. We knew that we can get back because we've been here before. So we just went there and played great defense because in the first half we was rushing our shot.
Your thought process now is you are 1 game away from getting to the NBA Finals.
I can't wait. Anybody want me to go to LA with me?
Dikembe, I also saw you run over and greet the Georgetown gang. John Thompson, Alonzo Mourning, everybody was there. What did they say to you?
I just want to thank them for their support. I need their support. It's been tough for me coming up in the field and playing in this situation.
All right, Dikembe, congratulations.